second, I thought you said now was a good time to cry.
Now is a good time to cry.
Is Craig a beaver or a bear?
Yes.
Cool. So, as we welcome Craig into the fold, welcome player number 7. This is too many. Who would like to kick us off with a recap of last game?
Last game was where we found the engineer, and there was a control room of some kind that something was happening in. And Biff dragged a body around.
Biff made a friend.
And something is locked behind a door. That's the extent of my memories.
All right. That's a very, very loose, broad stroke description. Has anyone taken notes?
So we had finished off the game before the last one, where we had gone down a death hall and we're on the other side of a door, and there were people barricaded up and prepping for us. We busted down that door like the Kool-Aid Man, took them down.
Oh yeah.
Investigated the room. There was some rune work that got scratched out again behind some foot lockers that moved. There was this weird pistony generator thing in the back of the room that no one knew what it did. Well, we looked at it, or all of us looked at it. Roar just failed miserably at it. And then Karn was like, why don't we just break it? And broke it.
Oh, that was that game.
Yes.
Yes. And then all of a sudden, the lights in the room went away. So we figured out what it did. Then we opened up we opened up the next door, and we came upon the room where the transference tests had been going on in, and the lights were off because the power was gone. We were working through the room. Roar was able to figure out that the tables were being used to transfer the mind of one being into the other being, among other fancy things that were going on to try and make the perfect shell. And based on the bodies laying around and the blood and such and some notes, it seems like the big thing that we had to make sure died in the other room what had just broken out of here a little bit while back. People started peeking at doors trying to find some things. Biff had spent a lot of time at a door with a light trying to figure it out, and he found that he just couldn't make it work on his own. But everyone else had most of everyone else peeled off to the other rooms and found that there was a whatever you want to call it. I don't think it was engineer, like head researcher or something. And he tried to kill himself, and that didn't. He tried to kill other people. Something blew up, and then we saved him. And then he became our friend? Question mark.
Friend, thrall. What's the difference?
Convinced him to help us out. He told us how the door that Biff was struggling with works. And he's like, I have to stay here and hold this or else it won't stay open. So he held his hand on a thing and had his face up to a thing, if I recall correctly, to authorize it and keep the door open. And when we went there, we saw there was a bunch of, really nasty things on the walls that could kill us. But this was supposed to be a trap and wasn't, because he didn't remove his face and hand. Biff and Roar spent, I think maybe Karn too, spent time breaking the devices on the walls that were going to fuck us all up. And we finished the game at that door. I think that's where we finished game, was at the door inside of the death trap hallway.
I think we had just opened the door.
That covers the broad strokes. Does anyone have anything further to add? That was pretty robust, Sam.
Till talked to us a bit.
Oh yeah, there
And,
was that little bit, wasn't there?
And Roras Price kind of goaded him and was like, was calling his experiments rudimentary and imperfect, and made some suggestions that maybe he and Calavera had maybe that Calavera did not mind his body and his mind as opposed to Till's, and Till was like, well, I'll take care of her after I take care of you. I'm much better now. Come check me out in another room.
Check me out, I'm super buff.
I got swole.
I remember
I'm stronger and I have
Day. All right. There was that moment. I believe Biff noticed something peculiar during that instance.
Yeah, he noticed that when that was happening, the antimony symbol on Roar was glowing beneath the hidden robes and stuff.
Okay. Does anyone have anything else further to add? There was a lot that happened last game, a lot of conversation, a lot of investigation. Is there anything that stuck out in particular?
I have no comments. I have nothing. Well, I should say I have nothing to add.
All right.
I know that Bones and Verdi had a bunch of investigations that they did, but I would hope that they remember it because I do not remember it currently.
You guys found a lot of stuff in that room. You guys found a lot of things. You know that there's at least one other person in one of those side rooms. There's a lot of instruments, strange instruments, and alchemical things that have yet to be identified. If this were like a bust, this would be a lot of evidence. Unfortunately, it's a raid, and there's just a glut of things that could be absconded with. So, speaking of absconding,
We're in the library. I remember now.
we're in the library as I activate floor number 3. That should pull you guys into the scene one by one. It's loading in. Excellent. It's loading in. It should be dark for just a moment, but as the light returns to your eyes, Roar. At the one closest to the door, pushing it open to peer inside, you discover this spacious room that looks more like a library than a lab. One moment. Crystal lanterns affixed to the walls bathe this clean and cozy looking room in a warm glow, while shelves upon shelves line the walls, laden with books without a single gap between them. A cursory glance discovers that the books contain a wide variety of topics by a wide variety of authors. What catches your eye immediately, however, is the fact that you are not alone. Standing in a loose formation are a number of these peculiar masked soldiers that you have run into before. As the door opens, they appear primed and ready. Not caught flat-footed, but they do have weapons drawn and they are prepared to attack. At this point, I'm going to have to ask everyone to roll for initiative.
Everyone starts fighting, gets to Karn's turn. Look, these ones are under attack.
Oh, sweet.
Was that a nat fucking 20? Is
Yeah,
that
it
one
is.
in the fucking pool?
I would assume so.
Very.
On
Very
initiative? Damn.
On initiative. Roar is leaping into action. Okay.
Gonna say there was a slight swell in the volume. Was that everybody initiative or just the people in the hallway?
Everyone can roll initiative, yes.
Okay.
Bones rolls for initiative. I think that's everybody. Okay. We begin combat with Roar. You are quick on the draw.
Do they look like they might understand me, or do I get a sense that these won't really understand anything I try to tell them?
With your nat 20, I'm going to give you a free action to make an insight, perception, or arcana check.
Give me a second here. I made a mistake.
Mistakes were
Yeah,
made.
yeah, mistakes were made in that I tried to pop out the window, and then
Oh, no.
nothing. Yeah, my skills don't show on this sheet, so I'm trying to change sheets really quick.
Oh, what happened to the D&D Bond sheet? It's fucked up.
Yep, that's okay. I could switch over to the tidy, the OGL.
Okay.
Yeah, insight.
Wisdom, insight. Insight. Their movements, as you look them over, appear strangely uniform. As one moves, it appears as though they're already beginning to tactically formulate some kind of countermeasure. You get the impression that they're connected somehow. You get the impression that reasoning with them may be beyond you at this moment.
Okay, that was all I needed to figure out then. I will lift my hand and I will Eldritch Blast. And I think at this level I get 2 beams, so I'm going to hit the first 2 closest to me. Or at least attempt to. So the first roll, the top one doesn't hit, I assume. But I think
Top
the
one
next one
misses.
does hit.
Second one hits.
Okay, so he'll take 4 force damage.
4 force damage. You see the impact of your magic ripple across the strange, almost. It's not quite leather. It's not quite alchemist wax. The armor is. It's a strange material that you have not yet encountered. It ripples slightly at the force impact, and the creature is sent reeling, just staggering back 2 or 3 feet as it turns its attention toward you, readying to do something on its turn.
Then Evrard is going to move forward, and he is going to use his Force Empowered Rend on the one that just got hit.
Okay. 24 is going to hit. Describe how the rend works. Is it a claw? Is it a punch?
In this case, he's putting both of his hands forward, back of the hands together, pushing in, and then ripping out. So kind of like some of the gruesome things you would imagine in anime, only with force damage, not actually trying to tear into their soul yet.
Yeah. So he reaches forward and kind of just claws away, trying to rend this creature open. There's sparks of arcane power just crackling around his almost humanoid mechanized fingertips as he does so. This seems to catch this creature by surprise, who lets out a grunt behind its rebreather. Distorted as it is, it's feeling pain. It's reacting. You are doing damage. So that's attack. That's bonus action. Are you moving?
I will move one space forward, but I'm being very careful not to move anywhere near the books because I want to protect all the books and I'd like to prevent collateral damage.
Okay. Bones, you're up. Verdi, you're on deck.
Yeah, so I'm gonna duck in. Hold on.
Are you using the ruler? Yeah, there you go.
You know what? I'm just gonna go in with the trusty Golux.
Go for it.
I'm not flanking with Evardar, am I?
You know, I'll give you flanking.
Okay.
$21.
And sneak attack, because it's advantage.
Excellent. Very cool. Very cool. Maximum sneak attack. So
Minimum
you also
damage, maximum sneak attack.
maximum. Hey, it's all about moderation. You have your bonus attack. Nope, you have your secondary attack due to your light weapon property. If you'd like to make it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's going to be a hit. Okay. No crit, but it is a hit. So 18, 19, 21, 22, 23, 23. You just dive in and describe Bone's fighting style if you so choose.
Sure. It's very acrobatic. It's a lot of like I want to say like kung fu movies almost.
I was just thinking that what's it called? Wuxia?
Yeah.
Wuxia, yeah.
Wuxia.
Ooh.
Very
I like
pretty. It's very pretty, very dance-like, very acrobatic.
Very pretty, very dance-like, very acrobatic. So as you attack this person, you find them grunting and straining to match your step, as though they are not prepared to meet someone who is fighting in this manner. They're decked out in heavy gear, pouches and bags and various ammunition canisters strapped to them. And here you are, diving in, ducking, weaving, and dancing, and carving, as your Golux crash down and strike against the creature's armor. You find that the blade glances and chips and does not dig as deeply as you feel it should. The creature's armor is almost like thickened leather. It doesn't have the tang of steel or the dull impact of traditional protection that you would expect. With your background, dealing with thugs and criminals and people who like to scrap, you are aware intrinsically that he is resistant to slashing.
Fair enough. Different approach then. I'm gonna use my bonus action to disengage and use feline agility to try and tuck myself in a corner here.
All right, you can take partial cover behind that if you decide to crouch, which means attacks would be at disadvantage from ranged if they attempt to hit you.
Sounds good.
All right. Let me see here. This guy's up after being thoroughly just landblasted and carved into. Let's see. Where's your character sheet, John? One moment.
John, Paul, and Ringo. Is that what we got here?
John, Paul, and Ringo. Well, I can look at his companion's attacks to know what he does. All right. There are multiple creatures nearby. Rather than use the repeater, he is going to recognize that the quick and light-footed one may not be as tenable. He draws what appears to be a long and... one moment. There we go. He draws this brutal-looking blade made of a long steel frame with what appeared to be cutting teeth like that of a saw. With a squeeze of his hand, the many teeth begin to move. And he begins to swing wildly.
Does this asshole have a chain blade?
This bastard has a chain blade. He is going to attack the construct, knowing the trouble that constructs can be. He's going to attack at advantage. Does a 17 hit Everard?
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does. The blade begins to dig into...
I can... oh, wait, never mind. Ignore me. Sorry.
He can protect you. Well,
yeah, I was going to cast shield, but I can't cast shield on him. It's only on myself. So
you can't. But if you are desperate to save him, there is an option. Observe the journal for warding shove.
No, I'm good for now.
Okay.
Does
so he's going.
Roar look distressed about Everard getting hit?
I do look concerned about Everard possibly getting attacked, since I'm safer getting attacked than he is.
Okay, I'm going to cast Silvery Barbs.
He rolls at disadvantage! All right, you cast Silvery Barbs and you cause the Lancer to suffer from disadvantage. That first roll was a 6. 6, 7, 8, 9. Does a 12 hit?
No, it does not.
Does not hit. He swings wildly. The teeth of the blade crash into the ground, causing the tiles to break and splinter beneath him.
There's a little orange butterfly that just got really distracting and annoying. I can now choose a different creature I can see within range, and that creature has advantage on the next attack rolls, ability check, or saving throw it makes within 1 minute.
All right. Do you have to choose that now or whenever?
I think it's now.
Yeah, I believe it's immediately.
I'll choose Everard.
Everard, a little orange butterfly perches upon Everard's shoulder. Is the butterfly angry?
Yeah, it's got that angry bumblebee situation. Like, it's cute, but it's mad. It got mad face.
It's
little
cute,
frowny
but he's
face.
mad. All right. Lancer has multi-attack. It's going to be a 16 on die.
That hits.
Okay. As he draws the blade back up and cleaves into Everard's side, he does 6 points of slashing damage as bits of the construct begin to chip off against the rotation of the blades. Verdi, you are up. Leah, you're on deck.
Right, I'm gonna step aside so Biff and Karn aren't in my line of fire, and I'm going to aim at this guy over here.
Okay, don't roll a 1.
I'll try not to. It's a 27 to hit.
That's going to hit.
All right.
Is this with the moonbow shortbow?
Yeah, the moon longbow.
Longbow, right?
All right, that is 10 radiant. And I'm going to aim at him again. .24 hit.
Hits.
That's 6 radiant.
All right, just roar. You see as these long and slender glowing arrows like moonlight dig into the creature's armor. As they strike, the magic kind of dissipates and momentarily engulfs it in this radiant flame. It seems not too plussed about it, but it is staggering slightly with its movements.
I'm gonna keep Natasha back here for now,
Natasha stays.
and that'll end my turn.
Turn ended. Leah, you are up.
Sounds like they've found a security detail. Excuse me as I dip. Can't walk through walls. There we go. Da-da-da-da. Gonna come to here. Gonna request that Verdi duck while I Ray of Frost at. Let's see. Let's go with this guy.
Okay. The chain sword wielding soldier type man. You
Yep, let me
cast your
just
Ray
make
of
sure
Frost.
I got the right spell. No, I want to do frostbite, I do believe. Yep. Going with frostbite.
All right. Constitution save of 16.
Yep.
Give me one moment. Hold on. It's a very low roll. Okay. He is going to make his Constitution save. He fails his Constitution save.
He
As
takes
ice
that
begin-
for cold damage, and his next weapon attack is at disadvantage.
Very good. Very good.
Don't work much on dinos, but it'll work on these guys.
Hell yeah.
Gonna stay where I am and end turn.
End turn. Okay. Biff, you are on deck. Two-man goes first. He is going to take a step back. He's going to take his action, reach to his side, and pull off what appears to be a small canister. With a free finger, he loops his ring finger of the opposite hand into a small ring and removes it from the can and hurls it toward the hallway.
If he rolls a
One moment.
1, do I get the chance to just like bat it back at him?
If he rolls a 1, bad things will happen, yes. It's going to be this one. Okay. Leah, Verdi, Natasha with advantage, Biff, Karn, and Roar. You must make a dexterity saving throw. If you,
Okay.
Oh no.
let's see.
Okay.
Let me reveal this.
And I just realized that that cantrip's not scaling damage, so
Oh.
Nat 20 for Verdi.
That cantrip didn't scale damage.
yeah, it's set to 1d6, and I noticed on here that it now has damage scaling.
All right, one moment. 1d8 cold, cantrip, 1d8. Yep. One sec.
And a nat 20 for Natasha.
Very cool.
Jeez.
Full caster advancement.
20 not natural for Leah.
Go ahead and just roll me an additional d6, and I'll adjust the tube man's damage.
So does
Okay.
that bring the pool up to 3? Yeah, there it goes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Christ, the pool's at 3? No, you can't do this to me.
I'm sorry, I rolled 2 20s.
2 20s. Okay. Let me check out the full description of this ability. Half as much damage on a successful save. So it's going to be 4d6. One sec. This is the problem with removing automation. I removed it for myself. Okay. I think everyone rolled above a 16.
I did.
Everyone except Roar.
Everyone except Roar.
Everyone except Roar. Okay, those of you who rolled above a 16.
There is dice in the
Roar,
pool.
there's one in the pool.
There's one in the pool at the time of our rolling.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna bother. I have a +2 to my dex save, so rolling better than a 12 is statistically unlikely. I'm
Alright.
gonna take it.
I mean, I have a +1
gonna
to my dex.
Man's going to stick with his math. I appreciate it. I love it. Let's do it. So it's 10, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 19 points of acid damage for Roar. That would be 9 points of acid damage for those who succeeded.
Okay.
Ow.
The acid sizzles and blisters and burns, but dissipates quickly.
That stung.
That stung. Yeah, and I don't think you have acid resistance yet, Karn. Oh, that's unfortunate. Biff, you are up. Biff, you're up.
Which one of these guys had the chainsaw?
This guy right here. Oh,
Alright.
ping.
Excellent. We're gonna say Biff didn't get hurt by the acid so much because he was running through the door. Take it off of that. In the middle of delivering a flying knee to this guy's helmet. Not an unarmed. Yeah, no, unarmed. That's correct.
You get to roll at advantage.
You have advantage. You're flanking him.
I am.
I can do that retroactively. One sec. 19.
All right, so that's 9 bludgeoning damage, plus sneak attack, which I always forget about. What is sneak attack? 1d6.
1d6 for you.
So plus 3 damage.
9, 10, 11, 12. So as you crash into him with your knee, attempting to bring him down, you feel something strange as you make impact, almost like striking a practice dummy or hard leather or a bag of sand. The blow is dampened. You don't think you're doing as much damage as you should be.
With bludgeoning, okay.
Bludgeoning and slashing.
That said, Biff is coming off out of the air to deliver his second attack, which will be with his his weapon. So we're gonna hit with that.
24 hits. You still have advantage. 26
So
hits.
26, 8 slashing, and we're gonna use the grappling. Actually, let me make sure I read this correctly.
The tangling weapon?
Yeah,
Or
entangling.
Entangling.
Yeah, so I'm using my bonus action to attempt to grapple.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. You different target. Okay, you can attempt to grapple. You have to make an athletics check. It's at advantage.
So 20.
All right, your chain carves in and slashes into his armor, finding a chink that Bones had recently left in the strange, not quite plate armor. As the hook digs in and you begin to attempt to whip and chain him up, he grasps the chain and yanks back. You have not yet grappled him.
All
He
right.
appears to be quite strong.
Noted. With that, Biff actually grins. We have found the worthy challenger, and that will be turn.
Okay. John, looking at Everard and seeing that damage has been done, wrings his hands as this bout of maniacal laughter escapes from under his rebreather, and you watch as he begins to slowly shimmer and disappear. Everard senses something. Movement, a shift. Everard may make an attack of opportunity at disadvantage.
$23.
23. 23 is going to hit. 10 points of force damage. There's a brief flicker and a glimmer as blood splatters upon the floor from some unseen form nearby.
Huh.
Galleon. You hear some loud thumping and thunking. Ka-junk, 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 ka-junk. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. He only has 30 feet of movement. Galleon witnesses what is happening across the fray. And what does he have? What does he have for range? Yes, within 60 feet. He sees the one that is up against Biff, points his hammer out. Friends, light the forge of your heart. Fight! As a just well of hot cinder and embers begins to manifest around the creature currently in combat with Biff. It's going to be a wisdom save. The flame catches as the creature currently in combat with Biff, struggling and fighting back. The armor begins to grow bright with heat, starts to glow as though being worked in a forge. And if I'm not mistaken, No resistance to fire. Biff, you begin to smell burning leather as he grunts and growls. Gallium is up. Done. Karn, you're up. Roar, you're on deck.
All right. As everything suddenly explodes into violence ahead of me, and I sting with acid etched over my body, I'm going to grip my spear solidly in one hand and slam the butt of it against the ground as my armor plates begin to split and raise slightly, as thick growths of wiry hair-like extrusions begin to emerge, and my size grows slightly as I don't wild shape, but I take on a bear-like appearance as I cast Guardian of Nature on myself.
Excellent.
Okay, yeah, that works. That damage is going to come in handy in a minute. So I
Take on the
chose form of the beast.
Primal beast. Your walking speed increases 10 feet. You gain dark vision. Your melee weapon hits an additional 1d6 of force damage.
Excuse this one. As I muscle forward, grip my staff, I peer at the one that threw the bomb, and then I whirl around and slam my spear into the back of the one in front of Biff.
Attack at advantage. Are you slamming the spear or stabbing your spear?
Stabbing.
Stabbing. Okay. 15 or 15. That's not going to hit.
I'm going to use one in the pool.
But even as you draw back, you realize it's not going to be enough. So, the fates. The fates.
Refunded.
The fates.
And you put it back in the pool.
As one goes back into the pool.
I drive a spear through his back and through the front of his chest.
As you catch him nearly by behind, you draw back your spear and you find what appears to be a solid, flat point that you know that a back is contained within. Whether by force of will or by some flaw of design, the tip, that shining, almost blue-tinted metal, carves and pierces and splits the armor with a sickening crack and then another. As Biff, you see the tip of a spearhead poking out from this guy's front. He looks down, touches the now bleeding wound, looks at the blood with a shaky hand, and collapses.
Ooh, that's rough, buddy.
I yank my spear out as he's like touching it. So, spear in hand, I'll turn and look at the one that threw the bomb, and I just growl at him.
He is currently palming and searching his hips for tools, for items, for something to turn this around. 30? Do you have any other actions, or is that your bonus action to cast and your action?
Bonus to cast, action to attack.
All right, Verdi, you're up. Leo, you're on deck.
You said Verdi, but it's me, I think.
Oh, wait, did I? Sorry. Yes, you are up. I was looking at the guy I just killed who was highlighted red. Roar, you are up. Bones, you're on deck.
All right. The guy that threw the grenade has really upset me. So I'm going to focus both Eldritch Blast beams at him since I can see him.
Quick point of order. Alter Self. Is that a concentration spell?
No.
Excellent. You need to check. Eldritch Blast. You've been seeing your allies, the blows that they've been dealing, what's been hitting, what's been not. It's all been kind of running through your head as you rear back and summon the energy in your palm. Just before the energy leaves your fingertips, you know it's not going to be enough. You can use one in the pool. You can use your second attack. But the first one will miss.
I was wrong. I was thinking about Disguise Self. I do have to do a con check. One moment.
Okay.
I will
There's
use one in the pool for that.
There's one in the pool.
That does meet, so
That's gonna meet. Excellent. Good going. Okay, so you maintain your transformation.
and I'll live with missing the first beam attack, hoping that the second beam attack hits.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna re-roll. I'm gonna let that stand. So I'm only using a 1 this turn.
Gonna let it ride.
Everard is going to run up and around,
Everard and his angry butterfly.
and since he's got advantage, we are going to force empowered Ren from behind.
Showing remarkable dexterity and fluid movement. He feints to the left and begins to sidestep, sidle, and twist around before getting low to the back of this creature. And again, Ren's magic flies as the armor is cracked.
And we're going to throw in an arcane jolt. So he takes an additional 10 force damage on top
10
of the
force
7
damage.
attack.
Shit.
Shit, dude. Lightning just leaves your fingertips as his fingers crackle with the color of your magic. The armor now has streaks of cracks, like spider webs running through his back.
And I'll have Roar move up there. And as the last thing on my turn, I'll just say, Till, I think you're afraid of me. And that's my turn.
That's your turn. Bones, you are up.
Yeah, I'm gonna switch out my Golox for my short bow.
All right.
And I noticed this blood train here because I'm a trained investigator.
You certainly do. You see there is
So-
a trail of blood.
So I'm gonna make a wild gamble and shoot in that direction
Okay.
with
Just letting you know.
disadvantage. Yeah,
Just letting you know, you do have blind fighting.
I do.
Yeah, you took that as your fighting style. If I'm not mistaken.
I think I took 2-weapon fighting.
Was it 2-weapon fighting?
Yep.
Oh no, 2-weapon fighting, and then we revised weapons. So I adopted the D&D 1 rules of now when you attack with a light weapon, you get the extra attack as just part of the attack.
Okay. Yeah, still gonna use a bow because piercing might work better.
Gotcha. $25. 23. You knock back an arrow. You see the arrow strike empty air, hover in place, and then shimmer as a fresh splatter of blood appears on the ground.
I feel like there should be more, but I'm fading fast. So that sounds good for me. I'm gonna use my bonus action to hide in this corner.
All right, you attempt to hide. You can go ahead and roll a stealth check. Just a moment.
It's gross.
Do you have the same thing with him in stealth?
No, I don't have the same thing. I have 4 more in stealth. So it's a 31.
Okay.
Unless you want me to re-roll.
No, I'll take the dexterity save. It's ridiculous either way.
No, it's not a save. That's just a I accidentally.
Oh yeah,
sleight of hand.
the check. Yeah. Hang tight 1 sec. I'll figure it out later.
31. I go invisible. Who needs I'm going to remove invisibility from my spell list. Who needs invisibility when you roll 40 stealth checks?
All right, you are now hit,
Jeebus.
and that's a 27.
Rogue bards are my shit now.
Rogue bards are your shit. You become invisible to even some of your allies. Yeah, cool. It works. Verdi, you are up.
Move into the room, and I'm gonna take aim at the one that I see over here.
Sure.
$26 hit.
26 gonna hit.
Right, 12 radiant.
As white flame splashes across his front.
Right, we're gonna shoot him again. The 22 hit.
22 will hit.
6 radiant.
6 points of radiant as the flame washes over him. He's not moving as quickly as before, or as vigorously.
All right, I'm gonna whistle for Natasha.
Does Natasha have the movement to get to him?
Oh yeah, she's got 50 feet.
Jeez Louise. Okay, go
So
for it.
she's gonna run
Attack at advantage.
around Karn and attack this guy.
Attack at advantage.
All right. The fuck. All right, she's going to pounce, and I believe it is the claw attack with pouncing.
Yep, it's claw attack, and then he has to make a save of some kind.
There's a 22 hit.
It hits.
Okay. Alright, that is 4 points of piercing. That doesn't seem right. And
What did you roll?
I rolled a 2 on a 1d4, and it's a +2 piercing.
Your attack is +9. It's a D4 +9.
Oh, this is not okay. Anyway, we'll fix that later. Right, so 2, so 9, 10, 11 piercing, and he needs to roll a DC 12 strength saving throw.
All right, and roll a saving throw. Effect. Save. Strength save throw. All right. He now has Natasha attached to him. Hold on a second.
Is he knocked prone?
He is not knocked prone. He is currently flailing about as Natasha is latched onto him.
Well, she clawed at him. She wouldn't
Sorry.
be able to bite him unless
Right.
he was
Okay.
knocked prone.
Got it. All right.
Does that now make him a wacky, fun, flailing, inflatable tube man?
Yes, actually, he's
Meech, get out.
He's as wacky. He's as wacky as you can imagine. All right, I'll adjust Natasha's stats after game.
Yeah. It might be the NPC sheet that I have up instead of the other sheet.
Yeah,
I keep
yeah.
getting them confused. We should probably delete one. Anyway, that ends my turn.
Ends turn. Leah, you're up. Biff, you're after the next tubeman.
What? Still within 50 feet. You know what? I'm going to take a shot with Frostbite at that fellow who I can see.
Go for it.
How did I change the thing to 2d6 and roll lower damage?
Magic. That's
Still have
pretty
red.
rough. You still have red. You rolled a 1 on there. That's why it's red.
Well, no, I rolled a 1 earlier and it was 4.
So you must have rolled a 1 and a 2. All right, so he takes 3 points of frost damage. As Ryan
No,
begins to
I
build-
changed into the thing to 2d6, so I don't know.
All right, any movement? Any bonus action?
No, I'm just going to stand here.
All right, he is up. He is flanked. Seeing no other recourse, he is going to begin attacking with. Yeah, you know what he's going to do? He reaches toward his side and draws a what appears to be just a small rod. Flicking it to the side, the rod extends with several segments, which then begins to crackle with what appears to be lightning. He's going to take a swing at the cat.
And
don't think
Everard is going to reach out to grab his hand, imposing disadvantage with deflect attack.
I was gonna
Okay,
say,
deflect attack.
did he fail his con save against Frostbite? Oh, that's why, because
Oh,
I
yeah.
rolled Ray of Frost. Duh.
Oh, Rare Frost. That explains it. No, he did not. Let's see. Let me just check that real quick. Yes, roll a con save, you said?
Yeah, let me re-roll the thing because attacking from different pages has things in different orders. There we
It's
go.
just a straight con save. It's not an attack to hit, it's just a con save.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
let's
I
just
had
roll.
added them to my attributes page in a different order, they were in different.
Got it. Do they take half on a save?
Nothing on a save.
Nothing on a save. All right, so your magic does not seem to take hold. He is too hardy.
Okay.
Still, he is attacking with disadvantage. 11 is not going to hit Natasha. Seeing Everard reach out and try to grasp him, he's going to turn about face and attempt to swing wildly at Everard instead. That's a nat 20.
Well, that definitely hits.
Okay. So as the baton comes crashing down against Everard's shoulder. One moment. It deals 16 points of lightning damage. Everard begins to lock up and cannot take reactions until the start of the Lancer's next turn.
Oh, okay.
Biff, you're up.
Look and see. Karn is after Galleon. And then we have Roar. Okay. Biff will look around in confusion. What is the another one here? What was the one over behind this guy? As Biff just steps over the corpse and looks around. Is there What the hell is Bones?
Bones is missing. You cannot seem to find Bones.
A single second to try to. Actually, can I have an investigation check? Maybe
It will,
this.
it will be your action.
Yeah, we got to figure out what the fuck's going on. If people are missing,
It would be a perception check to try to find a hidden creature. It'd be investigation to try to see who killed Sergeant Pepper.
all right, perception it is. 26.
26. Wisdom, perception. Let's see. This guy is hiding. So, with a 26 perception, you see a trail of blood leading toward one corner of the room over here. There's a lot of blood gathered there. In fact, you see blood actively dripping, appearing, manifesting on the floor. Bones is still nowhere to be seen.
All right, I have no actions on what you call it. Bones.
Call out the blood location.
Well, yeah, come on. Biff's gonna actually go over there.
Point at it.
It's like track. There is blood coming from over here. And we're gonna take use a key point to have a dodge action. I'm looking for the actual name of it. Like a defensive stance. Patient defense.
Patient defense, you take a bonus action, and
Yeah, one
you are now taking the dodge action.
indeed. So as Biff basically like harasses this blood trail.
Yeah,
he's
you're
gonna,
pointing it out. It's fairly obvious to your companions that there is something invisible in that corner. Still hard to see it, still hard to hit it, but can be hit, can be killed. Patient defense, that's the one. Okay,
Yeah.
let's see. He is up. Yeah. You hear it before you see it. Cutting through empty air and appearing with a shimmer, he is going to attack you as he manifests at advantage, catching you by surprise. Does a 24 hit your AC?
Yeah, I'd like to use defensive taijutsu.
Oh, you're dodging anyway, so that's
That's natural.
that's going to be straight. So he rolls an 18. Does that hit you?
On the money. So defensive taijutsu.
Defense and taijutsu. Okay.
I don't know why I rolled attack.
Yeah, why is it an attack? It's just 1d10 plus your dex. So 5?
The roll was 5, and my dex is 3. I can't see what the actual dice roll was.
Yeah, so that's going to be, you rolled a 2, plus 3 is 5. One moment. Just making a quick change. All right, so you reduce the damage by a considerable amount as you kind of reach and try to grab it from his hand, try to flip him, turn him, and twist him, and your hand is caught by the rotating whirring blades. They cut into your hand, dealing you only 2 points of slashing damage as you reduce it.
Oh, cool. Okay.
He's going to roll his second attack. You are still dodging. It's a disadvantage, so you can attack it. One moment. It's going to be a 20 to hit.
Oh, that hits.
Okay. All right. Defensive taijutsu is your reaction. So
Indeed.
the second one, as you reel back, having your arm cut, he tears into you, finding purchase in your shoulder as it carves through your gi into your flesh and starts splattering your blood against the wall. You take 16 points of slashing damage. You are both bloody messes.
All right. Biff cries out in pain, but is still doing a thing.
Still doing a thing. All right. Karn, you're on deck. Gallium, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Pardon, Gallium, Lady Elf. He rushes into the fray, sees that a number of creatures are wounded. Having faith in Edward Roar's craftsmanship, he's going to turn his attention to the living. He reaches his hammer up, and Biff, you feel this warm glow surround you. Let's see. Healing light, 2d8 plus 3. You hear a ringing of a forge hammer in the back of your mind as this warmth fills you almost scaldingly hot as your wounds begin to mend and stitch themselves. You take you are restored 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 points of HP.
Excellent. Oh, he takes that damage. He's not Dark Biff yet.
It's not Dark Biff yet. Yes, you regain that many HP. You do not take them. That is his bonus action. With his action, let's see. That's 30 feet. Nope. He's going to take his Warhammer, and he is going to reach back and hurl it. Lobbing this heavy-headed metal instrument toward the creature next to you, Biff. Bludgeons him for 6 points of bludgeoning damage. Biff, a hammer, thwacks this guy on the side of the head. There's a dull thud and a clank as it comes clattering to the ground. Gallium looks prepared to collect his hammer momentarily, but it's his next turn. Karn, you are up.
Okay, well, bomb tube man in front of me is currently flanked by my allies and is well and truly surrounded, so I'm not too worried about him. However, that is a vicious looking weapon attacking Biff right now.
Mm-hmm.
And Karn likes Biff. Biff is friend. So, roaring like a charging bear, Karn is going to run forward and drive his spear into Chainsaw Man. Now, since he does have Guardian of Nature up, I do make strength-based attacks with advantage, whether I'm flanking
Excellent.
or not.
Fuck him up. Okay, 24 hits.
Okay, so that's... Oh! Can I do one thing before I do that?
I will allow it.
I would like to use my bonus action to activate my riot suppression stance.
Okay. Yeah. Be sure to click that item so I can review it. As your Guardian of Nature begins to open up in places, green light spilling out.
So I'm not doing the vent aspect of it. I'm using it to activate the dueling fighting style.
Right, suppression fighting style. Okay. Dueling.
So since I'm only wielding the spear, I get +2 damage.
All right, so that becomes 5 points of damage plus 2 points of damage. Is there an
Plus
additional
1d6?
D6? plus 1d6. So 5, 6, 7,
4
8,
force.
9, 10, 11. Yeah, you jab into him. You find you begin to split his armor where your spearhead punctures. It appears as though the armor is not resistant to piercing.
Do not hurt friend Biff.
That's it for me.
That's it. Okay. You utter your warning, and it's going to go back to Roar.
All right. I'm gonna look over at Everard, and I'm just gonna tell him, "Heal, friend," and then I'll grab my my cavalry hammer. I'll look at the asshole in front of me. This is boring me. And I'm using 2 hands, but let me move that. So it's the 12 damage from the magical weapon.
Magical weapon. Is that bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing?
Let me double check.
Cavalry hammer, I believe it is.
It's custom, but it has a few things. It has armor piercing, so I gain a +1 bonus to attack roll. So, but that doesn't really matter.
25.
God damn it! It's not loading up to show bludgeoning or whatever for me right now.
Let's see. Versatile, 1 or 2 hands. Armor piercing, and yeah, it's bludgeoning.
Okay, yeah, it wasn't allowing me to see that. So, yeah, 12 bludgeoning on that first attack. Is he still up?
He's still up.
Okay, I will hit him again.
There we go.
So I assume that
22 is going to
hits.
hit.
So 7 more bludgeoning magic damage.
All right, you wallop him twice more. You reduce his AC by 2, if I'm not mistaken.
Let me double check that. That's not one I've recently checked. I didn't mean to hit that.
Armor piercing. Weapon from armor and highlight. We make an attack. Losing armor piercing. It gives you a +1.
Yeah, it just gives me a +1.
It's
So
not reduced, but you get a +1. All right, so you wallop him twice, cracking him. And he is reeling. You see blood beginning to pool around his ankles. One moment, technical difficulties. You got speakers that don't want to work. Okay. I'm going to have to Jaeger Verdi for a moment once it gets to Verdi's turn. Roar, Everard begins to heal. He pulls in magic from all around and begins to mend those broken pieces and warped pieces of his chassis. You wallop this guy, you send him reeling. He's staggering, he's bleeding. The armor is starting to crack in places. Bones, you are up and you are hidden.
Yeah. It looks like Karn and Biff are giving the formerly invisible dude a bit of cover. I don't have really great a line of sight on him, so I'm going to aim for this fucker that looks like he's about dead anyway.
Sure, you can take your attack at advantage because you are hidden.
Natural 20.
All right, I'm going to make that a crit.
And sneak attack.
Sneak attack is critted. Okay. So let's see. Yeah, that's an absurd amount of damage. You reveal yourself. You're no longer hidden. However, as you return to the world from wherever rogues go when they hide, you just manage to land an arrow in the back of this man's helmet. And Roar, you see, just poking, just very faintly from the tip of the mask, is the tip of an arrowhead. He's dead. He falls to the ground, a bloody mess. Bones, you still have your bonus action. You still have movement.
Fight's not over till it's over, so I'm going to get a good move into a spot with better line of sight.
Okay.
And I'm going to stealth again.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a stealth check. Biff, for a moment,
Ew.
you see Bones dart away and disappear.
Oh, there you. Oh, okay.
Oh, I like
Karn,
that effect.
Karn, you see Bones just scurry and manage to find herself wedged into a bookshelf. Nice and shady, nice and dark, somehow blending into the books and the various items stashed about. Where is Cat? Gilliam saw Cat. He is not here now. Fairy magic. Verdi, are you with us?
Yeah, I just need to load the page.
All right. I'm going to skip you, and then we'll come back to you as soon as you're back.
Is it a free action to have a little orange butterfly land on Gallium?
You can have a little orange butterfly land on Gallium. He regards it with a sense of familiarity and fondness. Oh, he's making sense now. So I'm going to give this to Leah, and then we're going to come back to Verdi, assuming Verdi is back in time.
Gonna move forward, peek my head through the door. Oh, hi, dude. I don't think I have to go that far. I can probably just shoot from here.
You can shoot from there, yes.
How bad's he looking?
He's looking rough. He's looking rough. The other creatures in here are bloodied piles.
I'm gonna forego the con saves and disadvantage and just Ray of Frost him this time.
All right,
And actually mean it.
Ray it and mean it. Okay. All right. 20's going to hit. 7. He begins to freeze over. His movements begin to slow. Let's see. His speed is reduced by 10 feet. He is slowing down in more ways than one.
All right, I'm back on.
All right, we're going to move backward 1 to Verdi. Verdi, you see that your allies are making quick work of this armored man. You see Bones is nearby, preparing, I'm assuming, to knock another arrow. Roar and Evrard and Natasha have taken care of one of the units, neutralizing it.
All right, well, I'm gonna shoot the last standing one.
All right.
Does 22 hit?
It's going to hit.
12 radiant.
12 points of radiant damage. He begins to stagger backwards, slamming back against the books. Books begin to tumble and fall to the ground near him. He plants a bloody hand against the frame to brace himself, readies the ripcause, the chain blade, preparing to go down fighting.
Yeah, I'll shoot him again. This is a 24 hit.
Gonna hit, yep.
That's 11 points of radiant damage.
11 points of damage. With an 11, you manage to knock an arrow. The glowing, slender dart strikes him between the eyes. He falls to the ground, dead. Movement has changed to free movement.
I'm gonna start working on a prayer of healing because that's got a 10-minute cast time.
I
All right,
will
you
unhide myself.
okay, you become unhidden.
Can I retrieve a chain blade?
You can begin to loot bodies if you so choose, yes.
And as Leah does are we taking a short rest? Is that what we're doing? Or we're just doing prayer of healing and moving on?
How rough are you guys? How rough are you? I know some of you guys have taken hits. You may choose to take a rest if you like. Assuming
Biff's 70 out of 84. Can still keep going.
Oh, okay. I think Biff's the most fucked up out of all of us.
Yeah, Verdi's 53 out of 67.
unless you count Everard. He cut close with Everard.
Everard is 20 out of 51 currently.
I don't want to kill more of your machines, but
I can res them. I just have to put time to resing them, and I have to save a spell slot. Roar is going to very pointedly pull out the portable hole, and he's just going to be grabbing books and moving them into the hole.
grabbing books and just moving them into the hole. There are many books here. You're just grabbing books?
Yes, no. Rather than just searching for the book that he wants specifically, he's just going to make sure that every last book and scroll in this room makes it into the hole. And the only thing he's specifically looking for as he's doing that is he's looking for those fucking runes that prevent teleportation.
All right.
That shit.
To find one of those, you'll need to make a check. I believe it is a perception or investigation check. You just
Should I make a check for corpse looting?
I'll give it to you. So each of these guys, they appear to have a number of items on them as you search them. This is just the surface level stuff. Each of them has a mask that has some kind of breathing apparatus. Each of them appears to be wearing armor made out of some kind of material that you can't recognize. Karn, even in those moments where sometimes you have these blips and glimmers of insight into whatever the fuck happened to you back in the day, this feels truly alien and strange. You see that each has a number of canisters attached to their hip. What appears to be a bolt case, but made out of the same hard, firm, not quite leather material that their armor is made out of. You pop one open and you find inside there are chains and chains of these slender green metal. They look like bolts, but they are slightly modified. The arrows are split in 4 directions with little tiny, like an opening at the center. You are not flesh, but you understand that these would really hurt if they were to pierce flesh. They'd fuck somebody up. They're also quite heavy. One of the canisters, let's see here, arsenal. Tube man arsenal. Out of all the canisters that you find, some of them are green, some of them are red, some of them are blue. On each of these units, you find what appears to be a bowgun. A crossbow of a sort. The material and design is strange. They have markings of gold and silver, reminiscent of magic weapons, and each of them has a sort of barrel affixed to the bottom, in which these chains of bolts can be loaded into. The whole apparatus looks to be automated, as though one does not have to pull back. It loads and shoots until it is out of shoot. So between the 3 of them, you find 3 of those. Between the 3 of them, you find 2 of those handheld chained weapons. You find one. It appears to be a baton of some kind, but the interior extends and retracts. The same one that Roar you had witnessed had struck Everard and was crackling with lightning. You also find what appears to be a kitchen cleaver. But the handle is made out of the same strange, not quite leather material, and a series of tubes and wires affix, instead of a sharpened blade, what appears to be a long and slender rod to where the cutting should be happening. It's some kind of mechanical thing. You're not quite sure what it does, but it is very reminiscent of a cleaver.
How many ammo belts were there for the 3 bolt guns?
You find 3 of them. Inside, there appear to be 20 of these bolts each.
Okay, I don't know if they're poison or they're just with some kind of special quality.
Yeah, they look like, especially sculpted and tooled bolts, but the metal itself appears to be green and they're heavy.
This one has a request for the roar.
Yeah, what? Huh? As I'm pulling out the books.
May this one place some items into the roar's black hole?
Yes, just...
Excellent. I start throwing stuff in.
You start throwing things in the hole.
I call back. Please, careful. I am putting books in there. Some of these I know are a dime a dozen, but other of these are very important and rare, and I would like to keep them in good condition.
You say as you were simply shoving things into the hole.
No, Roar is like grabbing stuff, and he's walking into the hole, placing them, and then coming back out. He's not chucking them because they're books and...
Oh, that takes much longer than I expected.
That's what, like I said, I'm like, he's grabbing things. He's taking whole hunks of books. He can actually move entire shelves at once with his ring. So it's not too long. It's just that...
Yeah, Karn's just tossing items in for expediency, and we'll sort them later. Sorry, Roar.
I legit imagined Roar just sweeping his arm and slowly, as carefully as he can, like just sliding him to the... But I got it.
Yeah, no, the one, like the one silly thing he would have done is like grab some of these smaller bookcases after making sure they were completely full, and then just using his ring of telekinesis to just move the whole fucking bookcase into the hole, just because that is more expedient. But like if there are parchments, he's getting them carefully pulled up. So there's at least 10 minutes worth of work there for Leah's spell to go off.
Well, these desks too. Just throw a goddamn desk in there.
Those are also, I'm not throwing desks into my pool.
But you're gonna throw a bookcase in there.
No, like I can fully
We
fill
can
it.
use the bookcases to push up against the sides.
Yeah, I can push them up against the sides, and I can stack them. I cannot stack those tables.
Coward.
All right, so for the sake of organizing my notes, I've added a container called Roar's Black Hole, and any items that Karn loots and asks Roar to store for him, I'm going to put in there.
Man, if you organize like that, you'll never see what the devils fit in there. Anyway, Roar, with your investigation check of 21? Yeah? 21. Yep. You do see in the corner of the room there is a faint glow. Tucked between the bookcases. On closer investigation, you see behind the bookcase there is a sigil, an infernal rune that is slowly glowing a dull red. I'm going to say with your investigation check of 21, you also, as you are kind of shuffling and stuffing these books, you catch glimpses of some of the sides of the books, the notes on the sides of them denoting what they are. You see something labeled Etheric Anomalies and Arcane Tides. You see hypotheses concerning Tikal as it relates to the incomplete cosmic timeline. You see another book, Local Legends. You see a book that appears to be collaborative alchemical findings. You see another book that appears to be, it kind of catches you, and you can't help but look it over as you pick this one up and begin to reach to put it in the hole. Staff and Associates. It appears to be a thick-bound book regarding those who have been here, those who have had tenure here.
Okay. I definitely. I know I missed one of the titles as I was doing quick notation there. The ones that, like Local Legends, the Incomplete Cosmic Timeline, and I think there was another one. He's going to specifically stack those in like a small pile in one spot, and the others right next to them in their own small pile.
Mm-hmm.
Just because he's like, okay, these are for Bones, these are for me.
Sure, you organize them. I'll have more information about those as you see fit to research them. You realize that there's so much information that's collected here and condensed that you can probably cobble together quite a number of alchemical or magical formula just from what has been jotted down here.
Oh yeah, and like I looked at them like I know that some of these books are primers that existed in the Lyceum and they're just there because they were part of his library before. So I don't expect to have a huge list of stuff, but you know, it's just like, yes, okay. This goes in my library for my university and you know, finding stuff and saving stories. So Local Legends is definitely cool.
Right on.
And yeah, after I'm done doing all that, I will go over to the sigil and I will chisel it with my crafting tools.
All right, you go ahead and make a tools check. You can use your int or dex with a tool of your choosing.
So push talk seems to be sketchy on my headset. Bones is also going to raid the library for books, but she's going to be a little bit more considerate about, not picky, but like, she's looking for specific stuff. She's also going to keep an eye out for traps.
Could you repeat that last part? More.
She's watching
more
for traps.
Watching for traps. You're checking for traps. Let's see. Sam, you are Jaeger, the character sheet. You can roll for Bones a investigation check. Investigation. So Bones, as you begin to search and look around the room, it's cozy. It's almost homey in here, if not for the corpses and the shattered tile nearby and some of the overturned desks. You get the impression that the room itself is a safe room, that there may be traps outside of it. But inside, this looks as though it is a place for people to study, to research. You get the impression that traps here would be counterintuitive to that. You do not find any traps for the 25, and you get the vibe that there probably aren't any. As far as being considerate about books, is there anything specific that you're trying to find in these shelves?
Well, game recognizes game, and this guy is really good at making deals with demons and things like and other planar beings. So I would like to raid his pile sections were just escaping me, specifically with like steel and law and
Demonology.
Yeah, I'm gonna say with a 25. With a 25, you find a tome. It appears to be not quite a primer, but something more esoteric. A quick flip through, you see that there is mentioned in this book that appears to be like a breakdown of the cultural and customs of extraplanar entities. There are numerous different writers ascribed to it. One of them is Till, and it regards, deals with the Fae, deals with devils, the entrapment and binding of elementals. It's all fairly brief, but if you were to take time and dig through it, you would be able to gain insight into these various extraplanar entities. And upon completion of the book, or even just skimming the book, you'd be able to get a better idea, at least a general idea, of how these creatures tick in regards to brokering deals or how to interact with them in a safe manner.
exactly. I'm basically looking like for that stuff like the code legal for interdimensional travelers and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's not quite as robust as you would like, but it is definitely a heading. You can use this book
keep an eye out for books that Reg will like.
There are many books, and as you consider Reg, you kind of glance and see what Roar is doing, and maybe that's the idea. Perhaps all the books. Let me see, what else is there that I can... One moment. I'm going to say that with that relatively high check. Yes. You find one book that appears to be a rather in-depth, not like a cookbook or a recipe book, but like a book upon the fundamentals of arcano-mechanical prosthesis. And it's all about magic items or creating magic that is integrated into a living creature through, what's that word? Attunement. It's an interesting book. You think that Reg, being a creative himself, he may be able to draw some inspiration from it, at least as far as the methodology of creating magic items may be concerned. What else?
Cool. I mean, I'm going to help Roar take all the books, of course.
All right, you guys take all books.
Yeah, when you go grocery shopping and like you pull like the two snacks you're going to have on the ride home? That's what I'm going to do with that specific book.
You take those specific books. Cool. As you do that, Roar, you make your way around. And was that 15 your check to disarm the...
Yes, that 14 is the check to do that.
14. So 14 is going to break it. However, you do see that as you are beginning to unmake the magic, the array is beginning to rebound with an etheric spike. There are still 3 in the pool.
Okay, because I had to do a save. It didn't count my other stuff. Because I get twice my proficiency plus my int, so that should be an additional +4, so that's 18.
So it's an 18? Okay. Okay, so you move hastily and quickly and begin to chisel a little deeper, a little harder, and sort of use your own body to brace the rebound. You take 3 points of fire damage as the infernal energy briefly erupts, dissipates. It doesn't harm the books as your body is in the way. As your fingers are left tingling, you see the magic is gone.
Well, that's another one down.
One more ward disabled. I would say this is around the time that the 10 minutes have been needed for the prayer of healing. You may roll for that if you like, Leah.
And since the turn order isn't up, I can't see who's actually got damage to their HP.
Let's see. Evrard is worst off. Roar is second up. Karn and Biff are kind of in the same place, as well as Verdi. Natasha has a little bit of damage. Everyone else seems all right.
So, because this is 2d8 to 6 people, so
Is it 2d8 to all of them at once, or is it divided between them?
I believe
think
all
so.
of them at once. That's hence why you get a 10-minute cool casting
Yeah.
time.
How many people can you target? 6?
6.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, you can target those who are wounded and begin to heal them. There are no more than 6 wounded.
Okay. What? God damn it. Roll 2d8 plus spell modifier, get 8.
Sometimes it be like that.
Sometimes it be that way. Let me see here.
I mean, that almost brings me back to full.
That almost brings
I
back
was
to full.
hoping for like 10 or 12.
Yeah. Low rolls tonight. All right, so those who haven't, you can add 8 HP to your total. I could automate that, but that would be problematic. So it is now 9:18. Would you guys like to take a brief break? Or sally forth?
I am good on either. If it comes to it, I will vote to continue.
Kind of in the same boat. If anyone needs to pause, that's fine.
I'm
Yeah.
good to continue. I am sprawled out on the couch, as you could probably tell from the difference in mic quality.
Hey, you sound a lot better than you did initially, so whatever you did, keep doing it. In that
My
case...
Bluetooth headset died.
Oh, fucking hell, that just happened to CZ too.
So
All
I'm
right.
just using the integrated mic on my phone, which works fine.
It sounds a lot better. All right, cool. So you guys spend a short while. You get off your healing, Leah. Roar. It takes you, after 10 minutes, you've gotten about maybe a third of the books in this building. You are trying to be delicate with them. A lot of them are very old. None of these books have white pages. The scent of vanillin, of the breakdown of the pages, is actually quite strong in here. These books are very old. Do you proceed to remove all of the books here?
I would like to, and so if Bones is helping too, I don't know if that shortens it up a bit.
Biff
it
can
looks like-
help as well.
Okay, so yeah, it looks like your allies have begun to move in and...
I'm listening at the door
teamwork.
to see if there's anything on the other side of it.
Perception check, please. So while you're doing your perception check, the rest of you are gathering books and procuring what there is to be procured. Is there any other notes about this area that I should be aware of?
Biff would have been interested in those chain blades, but seeing as Karn got those immediately, a thumbs up to Karn, and the
right.
night continues.
Okay.
I imagine they might exchange words at some point. Karn is not, he's not hoarding them. If Biff's interested, they can look them over later because they look dangerous and Karn was kind of worried about them.
They look useful.
Karn, are they on your person or in the hole?
In the hole.
In the hole. Okay. All right, cool. Canisters in the hole. Good to know. So, Karn, you put your ear to the door. Your ear, question mark. You listen for the sound of something, anything. You hear the very faint sound of gears. Gears turning, almost like clockwork.
Would the bones assist with this door, please?
Yeah, the bones would be happy to assist.
Thank
Bones
you.
with you soothed.
Does that door have one of the numbers on it?
As you look this door over, it appears to be an iron door. There does not appear to be a number upon it, but there is a handle and a keyhole.
Karn just assumed it was locked, so that's why he called Bones over.
Fair enough.
You know, in case of traps.
Yeah, I was about to say the first thing I'm gonna do is check for traps.
All right, roll. Sam, please roll in that thing that you roll.
Beautiful bean footage.
Rob, can you give Sam access to my character sheet so he doesn't have to keep running across the living room?
Oh, geez, I thought he had it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no worries. I have access to his, but it just never goes in the other direction.
Oh, geez, I thought for the longest time that. Okay, one sec. Owner and save. All right, bones should be in your inventory now, Sam. Sorry about that.
No worries.
Investigation intelligence. With an 18 in investigation intelligence, you do not see any sign of traps. You do see that the door is locked, and yeah, you spent enough time in in Yanzaru, in the tiny part of town, to know that this is a gnomish lock. They are vexing.
This is a gnome, and I'm gonna start. Working on the lock.
Work on the lock, so you can, Sam, if you can roll a thieves tool check, or actually, I think it's sleight of hand with advantage.
Yeah, sleight of hand with advantage.
Sleight of hand with advantage. This is a tools check. 26. Yeah, that's going to be enough. So you manage to trip multiple tumblers, hold them in place. You get out a second pick and begin to pick the auxiliary tumblers. You grab a pair of pliers. You begin to wind the spring mechanism. The first lock disables, as does the second. You find the latch on the door, pull slightly, and the door, unless you hold it, begins to swing ajar.
I'll hold it.
You hold it. All right. Move here so you can see it, or so Sam can see it. The door is unlocked. You may open it if you choose.
I ready my shield and spear and nod to her.
I will use Karn as a shield.
Okay, dodge action taken. Partial cover.
I'm just gonna move behind him so that I'm in the second wave of running the fuck in.
Second wave of running the fuck in. Door swings open. This next room is dominated by furnishings and a large planetary mobile at its center, documenting the various celestial bodies in the sky. 2 cranks can be spotted on either side of the machine, both of which connect to an inscrutable series of gears and interconnected mechanisms. Various books are stacked in shelves nearby, as are globes, tools, and knickknacks that suggest that the room is well lived in. A doorway can be seen at the north part of the room, firmly locked, as a set of ethereal green chains constrict the doorway. At the other side of the room, a tall painting stands at the far end of the room. Roar. This catches your eye more than the giant mechanism, as you recognize the bluffs upon which the Lyceum stands. This is home. A depiction of it, at least. Sitting upon a round desk nearby is a round, wooden, smaller desk with what appears to be a prototype of the planetarium at the center of the room.
I will definitely move in.
He's close to clear.
This one does not see anyone.
As clear as it can be.
Gallium ducks his head under the doorframe, moves forward. He glanced back at those nearby and kind of moves to the side, lifting one arm up and kind of gesturing others to follow, but at a safe distance. He's being cautious. Much like you, he sees the painting and squints his little shuttered eyes. Is that what Galen thinks it is?
Yes, it is. And I look at the painting a little bit more in depth, and I start looking to see for some inaccuracy in it.
Without even making a check, you come to a conclusion that something is indeed missing. There should be a very, very small skyline, a wall, buildings, shops. Where is the Lyceum town? It's just the tower and the bluffs.
I touch the part of the painting where the town should be.
You find that the paint is quite dry. It's quite faded in places. There's like a thin layer of dust deposited on the brushstrokes. Roll me just an investigation check. With a 12, it's inconsistent. It looks old. You're not sure how old, but it looks old. Very well maintained, though. While Roar is investigating the painting, what is everyone else doing?
Biff is investigating the rest of the room because he doesn't. This is all mystical stuff, and it's nothing here to punch.
Yeah,
I'm looking for signs of doors.
Signs of doors. You see that there is that one door toward the north of the room that appears to be. Yeah, in the north of the room, this frame here, you see that there are a number of like plates and stuff on top of the frame, but the door itself is. Well, let me put a little light here. Faintly glowing with green light from a set of ethereal chains. There we go.
This one has found an unusual door.
Biff puts down the whatever this is that is on the table.
It appears to be an orb that's on top of a little brass holder. You were looking around, so just give me a quick investigation or perception check while you're in that area.
Ponder it.
Ponder the orb for just a moment. Consider it.
11.
Okay. You see nothing strange. It's a knick-knack, paddywhack.
Bones is gonna. Oh, go ahead.
No, it's just Biff is gonna just pocket the orb and then remember he doesn't have much of a gi top, so just set it back down and move to the door.
All right. Bones.
Bones is gonna start looking around for what could be described as a phylactery.
All right. Roll me a perception investigation.
He's
Nat
lit
20.
to start phylacteries. Whoa!
Nat 20.
Damn, I'm gonna have a
Nat
Sam
20.
for me all the time.
Holy shit. So that's an extra karma die. Four in the pot. You guys better use them. Well, why not? I'm not your dad.
Shit, I should have re-rolled that.
With your nat 20, you begin to canvas the place. You are moving around quick little kitty feet as you use all manner of senses, sight, touch, smell. I'm sure you don't lick the books, but it's tempting. You find a series of journals that appear to document information regarding Till. You find tools. Some are ornamental and old. Some are new, used for sketching things. You see some blueprints. You see a number of small machines that appear to be almost like toys. Like there's a globe There's a compass that rotates by itself. In one corner of a room, you make out the telltale signs, the glow of an infernal rune.
Oh well, shit! I'm gonna pull out my bow and destroy the rune.
Destroy the rune. Among other things that you find, you begin to kind of get a feel for the guy, a feel for what he would have here. This does appear, at first glance, to be his personal quarters. It's too much like his personal quarters. You think that this may not be his actual sanctum. Nothing here is of incredible value. Nothing here appears to be of even sentimental value.
This is his decoy sanctum.
This is the study.
I haven't found any porn or dirty clothes, so this is definitely not his real room.
This one is sorry, what?
To be wealthy enough to have two sanctums, a decoy sanctum no less, this man is truly cultured.
I mean, sell your soul to enough devils.
That is in minus 2. Yeah,
Also-
Nakabow, go
yeah.
ahead and attack that array. See what happens. Roar, you can notch an arrow from the short bow. See if we can hit the AC of it.
Did we check for runes in the other room?
In the room before you, you checked
Yes.
for runes and found one. So,
Okay.
Bones, you are certain that your aim is true as you pull back and line up the shot, close an eye, aim, and as the arrow looks to be heading straight on to strike this, to pierce the wood that it's etched into, the arrow veers. It lands askew in the bookcase.
We
Now
do have
we'll
karma
see.
dice.
Oh, I can't see what I roll, so I
Sorry. It was 11 total. 3 on die.
Oh, fuck that. Yeah, karma dice.
Karma die? Yes, the important of this more.
It won't let me roll at advantage. Thank you.
Advantage. With a 21. 10 points of piercing damage. There is a snap.
She adjusted her aim just enough to account for what she knew was going to happen.
No one is within 5 feet, as there is a small, fiery, bright explosion. Galleon flinches.
Biff flinches because he was standing over there.
As the cinders and scorch marks and dust begins to settle, you find that the rune is no more. There is a blackened mark where it had been, vaguely in the shape of the runes. But that one is disarmed and disabled.
Did the bolt get disintegrated in that, or is the bolt retrievable?
The arrow, the shaft is a little crispy, but it's usable.
I'm not worried about retrieving my arrows.
Leave. Taking nothing with us.
Well, there's one thing that Bones is like, I always have enough, and that's arrows, because she uses her bow so infrequently.
Yeah, your sheet just said that you ran out of ammo.
Uh-oh.
Oh well, I just have to use swords.
53. Oh, I know what happened. Inventory versus the other thing. One moment. Sheet.
I'd say I don't think I was low on arrows, but I don't put it past me.
You had 50 of them, but it was written down and not actually programmed in. Let me adjust that. 50. How many do we have? Description.
I'm gonna say she uses it so infrequently she forgets to top herself up.
No, she bought a shitload. I remember she bought a shitload of them.
Yeah, Bones basically was like, I'm buying a lifetime supply of arrows, and for that means that is a much lower number than it would be for like Verdi, but
Yeah, I believe you've used 3 of them so far.
yeah.
All right, right on. Let's see. Gallium begins to move forward and nods at you, Bones, and calls after Roar. Roar, you are a bit more arcane than Gallium is, afraid to admit. Are you confident that we have not missed any of these? Not that Gallium is welcoming devils to join fight, but if there is a bounty on this Regor's head. He kind of trails off and rubs his chin.
No, I'm not certain that we've gotten all of them. Every room we've searched, we know we found one, we've taken care of it, but doesn't mean that there weren't any in some of the cells or the other rooms that we didn't check, or
He
in
nods a bit.
other locations. But we've been just cleaning them up as we came further and deeper, so it's all we can do.
Gallium nods, and he's meandering as you speak, not like sheepishly, but also like not overtly. He takes his time. He approaches and passes by Karn. He weaves past Natasha, and he's staring very intently at that door with the ethereal chains. And again, he taps his chin with his knuckles. Gallium has a knack for certain things, gift from the Morden Shaman. It allows Gallium to sense when nearby there is certain creatures. Fiends, fake creatures, and undead. Not meaning to alarm, but gestures and wags his finger a few times at that door. Mad science man is said to be lich and quite powerful. I'm sensing powerful dead beyond door.
Oh, powerful like the big one?
Likely the big one.
And we will not be opening that door.
Yet.
You wish to fight that again? With no reason?
If that one lies between these ones and these ones' quarry, these ones may have to.
This is fake room, fake chamber. You think the real one is beyond it, and not simply another direction?
Oh, he's most certainly over there.
Gallium nods and looks to you, Roar, and nods. I'm thinking that is the case, but phylactery is not found. All wards not broken. We can move on. We can throw everything we can at this Till person. And he takes his hammer recently acquired from the last room and kind of pounds his palm. Just need to know that all are in and ready to go.
Well, if I could have 5 minutes, that would be lovely.
We'll not rush you. We'll follow your lead. This man had connection with Price. This is your fight.
Beth shrugs. If we are expecting assistance and need to destroy more runes, do not see why it would be too bad to search a little further. Maybe not too much to give Regor more time to prepare. We've done well to clear the rooms thus far, so should not have much resistance either way.
And you have been sneaky.
There's
Some-
at least one more deeper in his sanctum, possibly multiple.
A thought has occurred to this one. This phylactery. It would perhaps be guarded, yes? Perhaps.
He likely
Perhaps.
keeps close to him.
Guarded, locked away. If investigator Bones, Dark Moon, is correct, could be what's his word? Misdirection. He gestures to the room. Grand misdirection. If it's not his study here, then maybe somewhere else.
There is the door these ones passed, with something beyond it these ones did not face.
Karn, as you recall, there were several doors. Leah, I'm assuming that you're kind of listening and jamming with the discussion.
Yep.
I'm going to give this one to you. Well, you had your loyal thrall leading you to the place where his eye was placed against the door. He gestured toward one of the doors you passed. He had mentioned the master's room, that none were allowed.
I will forward this information then.
Perhaps it would be worth these ones investigating before these ones continue then.
The master's room where one is not allowed. Do not see why it would be a bad idea.
Galleon pounds his hammer into his palm again and nods. We'll remain here. Keep
The
watch.
tear of the moon may be there.
I doubt that. I think the Tear of the Moon is powering something. But I will be here with Evrard, using time to fix him as much as I can.
You begin to mend Everard.
Yep, I begin casting mending. I'll look at Bones. I trust you to find things.
That is what I do.
That is what Bones does. Okay. So, Bones, you begin to flit and search the paths that you had traversed previously. You had searched the room that you find yourself in, this library area. Fairly certain that you had overturned. That's a bunch of dice.
I had
Was that for Everard?
specifically, so I'm just doing my 5 minutes of rolling all at once.
Got it. Makes sense to me. You're certain that no stone was left unturned in the room that you passed through. You follow and you move forward, and Galleon follows after, quick to guard you. Keep basically be your +1 as you both begin to investigate.
Karn is going there too.
Hey,
you
DM.
Yes?
With Verdi's passive, is there anything of interest in this room that he might want to take?
That you might want to take. Your attention is actually drawn to this shelf. With your passive perception, it looks to be an egg, roughly the size of a large land avian egg, but it is a bronze greenish color, almost like it had been gilded in metal. It bears what appear to be scales made of this metal along its shape, its form. It looks valuable, and it looks to be a casting of some kind of natural creature's egg.
Okay. I will take that, and I'll go take the orb that Biff tried to pick up.
You pick up an amethyst orb. It looks to be a fairly pricey, fairly brightly colored and clear orb.
With the stand.
With the stand. You take the little brass stand underneath it. Again, looks to be simple brass. There's no maker's mark. It is polished. There are signs of age on it, though. So you search about. You find some interesting things. Is anyone else performing any activities in that room? Before I catch up with Bones and Karn.
Biff's gonna frown slightly at Verdi taking his orb, but it is what it is.
He put it back. It's free game, according to Verdi.
If you don't put it in your pockets, it's free to steal for your girlfriend. Okay. Bones, as you pass by the tall, pale engineer, he shifts a little bit to regard you, but then pauses, realizing his duty is lapsing, and puts his head back against the wall, peering into the green light. Karn, you say hello, and he's kind of flits one eye at you. Hello. Before returning to making sure the traps don't go off that have been destroyed.
One more question. How do I bring up the notepad for writing down notes? 'Cause
You can
it's
use
not.
So you can use either your journal, or if you open up the player menu, next to your name, there's a little icon next to your ping that says Open Easy Notes.
Okay, I have to put it back in the thing.
Cool. Alrighty. Bones. You find yourself in the experimentation chamber. There are a number of doors in this area surrounding you, one of which you know has a creature inside of it lying in wait to attack. Another has not yet been explored. You find the door that Leah had basically mentioned was addressed by the engineer. Upon this green metal alloy door is a red number 3. It is one of the securely locked ones with the key card mechanism attached to it. I'm going to assume Bones would have taken the keys.
Yes.
All right. With a click and a whir, the door opens. I have to get my information about this room. One moment.
If these ones encounter any trouble, would the bones be able to reach the others and inform them? The bones is quicker than this one.
Sorry, I didn't catch that. What?
If these ones run into any trouble, would the bones be willing to run back to retrieve the others? The bones is quicker than this one.
Sure.
Substantial trouble.
Substantial trouble.
As Biff is already running. Did Biff get bored?
Yes.
So, as you guys are
I
having this
just
conversation,
imagine Biff going like hut, 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 hut as he races to catch up to the others.
Biff, having gotten bored, decides to leave the room and catches up as you guys are having this conversation. Let's see. So, Bones, this room, you enter into a small but well-furnished room. At its center is this large, dominating, reinforced wooden desk, reinforced by an expensive-looking alloy steel, it looks like. An ornate, large chairs tucked neatly behind it. A fancy rug covers most of the floor, dampening most of the noise as you enter. In fact, you cannot hear your footfalls as you take a step in. It's as though the entirety of the room has been reduced by a few decibels. The scent of vanilla draws your nose toward the various bookshelves that line the room. Age-weathered books turned gold and brown by years of existence. You see one side of the room bears a shelf with a number of preserved specimen parts and trinkets. They look like decorations more than practical tools. There is an ornate tea set, clearly visible in one corner of the room, set as though prepared to have tea. There's a small chest, a strange black iron device sitting on a nearby shelf next to that. And there appears to be a painting, a very ornate and colorful painting of a savanna, a stream, and a distant jungle.
Yeah, I'm gonna search this room.
Rolling it. Sam, can you roll an investigation check?
I'd like
Karn.
to assist.
Assist. So, Karn's going to help you turn things over, lift things up, and put them down. You can take advantage of your investigation check. I will make that advantage. 28.
Yes.
Excellent. Excellent. So, you get a couple of things. You get a couple of things with that absurd fucking... Why do we even have checks with rogues in the party? This is amazing. Upon the desk, You see a number of journals depicting the current projects at hand. One denotes current alchemical compounds being used within the facility, which ones seem to fail and which ones seem to succeed. It looks to be that this is in regards to what had been happening in the tube room. There's another that you flip through. It details the creation of the bodies within the tubes, and it refers to a practice, or rather a format of creating these that he refers to as genetic molds. This one goes into detail about the molds and how they work and where they came from, how they were created. There is another book that details research into, at cursory glance, some sketches and some notes. They appear to be creatures native to Tikal. It's a cursory glance, as you don't quite dig into it. It is contrasting what can be found here with what can be found in the rest of the world. This appears to be something that is documented, like in detail, something that interested Till. These seem to be his personal notes. You catch, the phrase tabaxi in there, other things within the jungle. Tikal is referred to as a seed bed of life, and the such. If you take time, there's more to read in these, but you're just skinning. Another book details the arcano-mechanical prosthesis. Similar to the book that you had found earlier, this appears to be more intimate notes, Till's personal notes. One of these journals appears to be a log of visitors. It is labeled visitors. The latest page depicts the clown. And I'll let you mull over whether or not you want to read through those more.
Can you repeat that last sentence? What the last page depicts? Because I heard clown, and I'm pretty sure that's incorrect.
The clown came by again today. That is the first phrase in this visitor log.
Okay, so I did hear correctly. You did say clown. Okay.
Let's see. That's just what's on the desk.
We know who that is.
On the walls, you see a taxidermied and preserved bat. Its teeth are strangely elongated, and its face bears a fierce countenance. You take a quick look at the tea set. It appears to be just a very simple tea set. It is very clean. It is very expensive looking, but otherwise appears mundane. The black iron device catches your attention. You've been on the sea, right? You know what a cannon is. It appears to be a small, arguably functional cannon. There is a fuse at one end.
How small?
You could probably, if you could lift it, carry it under one arm.
All right, I'm gonna leave it because I'm not that strong.
Okay. Let's see.
You do have a manly warforged with you.
And a Biff.
And a bit.
And a manly Biff nearby.
One of you boys might want to grab that.
Let's see. A quick skim of the books on the shelves reveal many of the books are centered on alchemy, the creation of potions and guides for fine jewelry, smithing, from authors that you've never heard of.
I'll grab some of the jewelry books and tuck them into my bag.
You tuck them into
Reg
them.
used to be a jeweler. He might find them interesting.
Now, as you get to the painting, with your very high investigation check, you know when something is hiding something. You lift the painting off the wall, after, of course, checking for traps. And you discover...
In the background, Biff and Karn are like paper, rock, scissoring to see who should carry the cannon.
Upon the top of the shelf and behind the painting is a small door that a small creature could fit through. Or a medium creature could squeeze through with a little effort.
Is Till a gnome?
Man,
Can I-
that sure is the question. You can, let's see, you can roll an insight
I mean,
check.
I've seen so much. Can I, using my investigative, like
can roll
everyone,
Deductive reasoning.
The
You can-
locks are gnomish. I'm pretty sure Till is a fucking gnome.
You can roll an insight check at advantage, or just fucking run with it if you want to.
I'll roll an insight check at advantage just to be sure.
Let me make that advantage. Hold on.
So everybody's expecting this big, imposing guy, and
Yeah, so that's a
Outrun
nat
this
20.
is
That's a nat
Oh
20.
dear lord.
That's the fifth.
That's nat 20. Wonderful.
That's another one of the pool. Excellent. Yes. You're starting to get you get oh
A
boy.
distinct impression.
You get a very distinct impression that Till Regger, this lich, this creature who is obsessed with arcano-mechanical prosthesis, the transcendence of their own form, their own body, into something bigger and better, whose machines defy reason, and who has a painting of the Lyceum back before there was the Lyceum town to surround it. You get the impression that this man may have been, or still is, a gnome.
So Till is a gnome with inferiority complex. I'm just gonna
You
say that out loud
kinda-
to the group.
Oh.
We should get the others. I bet his real sanctum is through there. Or something interesting is through there if you guys want if you want me to crawl through first to find out.
Biff does not want you to crawl first and find out.
Does Biff want to carry the cannon, or will he be the?
Yes.
Okay.
Biff, you can add an arcane cannon to your inventory. I'll figure out the rest later.
Oh no.
All right. I'm assuming that the party gets summoned. Do you summon Gallium as well?
Why not?
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Roar and Everard, do you remain in the room?
They would have taken more than 5 minutes by now, so yeah, I would have gone with them. I would have gone.
I've moved you.
Thank
You've been
you.
Moved.
I somehow managed to walk through the wall by using the arrow keys.
Yeah, that's a bug, not a feature. Okay.
I can't get back.
Oh no.
I moved you.
You clipped
I moved
into
you
the back rooms.
I
There
moved
we
you.
go.
You're here. There you go. Just zoom out a little bit. It's okay. It's fine. Don't worry. It's fine. The engineer kind of glances at you guys. Welcome. And as you guys make your way out of the trapped, now untrapped room, he remains with his face against the wall. Diligent, if nothing else.
Biff
Once
taps the-
everyone's out of that hallway, I can tell. I tell him that he doesn't have to wait at the keyhole anymore.
He nods in your direction. Oh, okay. This one will stand here.
That one may take 5.
He starts to count on his fingers. Okay. Bones, you find that your party is behind you. They're all kind of peering into this tiny room. There are many things in this tiny room. Various books, various trinkets, various items, a shitload of journals.
And my search of the room didn't pull up any runes or anything.
Oh, yeah, you rolled in that 20. Hold on. I fucking forgot a whole last step. So, as the cannon, as you're investigating the cannon, and as people get to move it, with your high check earlier, you do discover that there is the markings of an infernal rune etched into one of the stone walls. It's kind of tucked away near the cannon, near the fuse. You get the impression that there might have been a Rube Goldberg thing happening. If you pick up the cannon and defuse that whole situation. Roar, there's another fucking rune here.
Yeah, sure. I will go to break it if it's pointed out to me.
Yeah, roll a check.
So that's plus 4, so 15.
Okay. So you begin to diffuse it, and you find that just like before, this one begins to rebound. This one appears to be
Karma dice.
more.
Nah, I'm taking it.
elegantly etched. Okay.
Take
As
back
it
4
explodes-
dice.
Use
He's
the
taking-
dice.
You could still do worse, so you still might end up taking it.
Fine, I'll roll one of the dice.
Roll one of the die. 13. 14, 15,
Sorry,
16,
not
17.
Constitution.
Oh,
There we go.
okay. I'll take it. 24. With a 24, you find the linchpin and the back doors, and you hack the mainframe, and you find the line of etching in the code, and you're beginning to really understand this. The infernal language, how it interacts with the runic of your time. You sever it surgically, and the lights go dim. There is no rebound. There is no arcane explosion. This is perhaps your best work yet. Let's see. Bones. Roar. Biff. Definitely Verdi. All y'all. Yeah, no, there's no reason why you wouldn't. It feels to all of you as though entering or leaving a place of great depth. It's almost as though your ears collectively pop, as though some pressure has been lifted or removed in your immediate vicinity. A hum, a sensation, a force that you all were not quite aware of, but are now aware of the absence of. Something has shifted and changed.
Huh.
After that final rune was destroyed?
I didn't say it was final.
After that rune was destroyed?
After that room was destroyed, yes, you felt something shift.
Has Bones mentioned the tiny door?
She's up in front of a tiny door. There's a tiny door. The painting has been moved.
Bones is half in the tiny door.
Half in the tiny door.
She's doing
Roar,
the cat thing of like crouched
please
up
roll
there
me
and like poking
She's-
it.
investigation
she's being,
or
like,
thieves tools
full
or
cat
whatever.
in the cupboard.
Cat in the cupboard. Bones is not dumb enough to go through without making a check, so please roll investigation.
Okay. As I see her, I will call out, you know that I have a small friend that can go through there.
Yes, her name is Bones.
No.
You detect
A
no sign
smaller
of traps. You detect no sign of traps, but there is a gnomish lock, and it appears to be robust.
Let's start working on the lock.
24. Let's give that advantage. 1 second. 24. It takes you some time. It takes several minutes, in fact. Those of you who are waiting see Bones kind of struggle.
While she's struggling, I have opened up the hole enough to call out my homunculus servant.
All right, you call out your little friend. I don't know if you service. You call out service.
No, that's not service. This is
there's a different one.
the imp, the one with the hand. It's like a pseudo dragon imp, but it has hands.
Pseudo dragon with hands. So you call out a tiny mechanical pseudo dragon like creature. I don't remember if he has a name.
I never gave him a name, or
Didn't
if I
name
did,
him.
I don't remember it.
Don't name the dog because you know the dog's temporary.
Call him you.
You call him out, and he appears, taking residence where the cannon once was. It's around this time, Bones, that you do manage to get that click and that pop, and the door begins to open. The hinge, or rather the locking mechanism, causing the door to kind of limply sit on the hinge, to be pushed open. You peer, assuming you open it. Oh, are we breaking up? We're breaking up terrible. Sorry, Heather, I cannot hear you. Sneaky sneak?
Sneaky look, yes.
Sneaky look. You take a sneaky look inside. You see that this narrow hallway opens up into a much taller room. There appear to be lanterns ensconced into the walls at about head height, glowing with an inviting and warm white light. The floor itself appears to be polished marble, and you can discern, even from your standpoint, that there are numerous pedestals. Things are on display. The first thing that catches your attention straight ahead is what appears to be a skull, weathered and worn, seated upon a very nice, ornate, gold-trimmed plaque. You catch a glimpse of what appears to be glass to your right, as though a glass case is just out of view from your angle. You also see what appears to be an armor stand, but you can't quite make out from your angle what is seated on the armor stand. You do make out like a little glint of metal, some pale white metal, kind of gray, silvery, not quite silver, but it looks fancy. From what you can see from, I think you could see the elbow from there. With your former insight check, this appears to be some kind of display room. A treasure room. Perhaps for sentimental reasons.
I'm gonna check for traps. Just a cursory glance around. And then
All
I'm
right,
gonna
scooting in.
Yeah, I'm gonna scoot in.
Scoot in. I'm going to move you. Jump up. Move you through. Investigation, intelligence. So you're moving carefully and quietly, stealthily. As you make it through this narrow hallway and into this taller room, y'all see Bones kind of squeezes in and squishes herself and fits through this tiny hole. The remainder of you could make your way inside. It is half movement to get through this hallway. Who is following?
Biff is able to do this with the cannon. Like, how big is this mini cannon?
This mini cannon it's a cumbersome, like 2 feet long by like 5 inches around. It gets bigger by the backside. There's a brace underneath it. You probably won't be able to get in there holding the cannon. You could push the cannon through with some effort.
Or just set it down.
Or just set it down.
No.
Let me pull some people to the
Wait,
scene.
didn't Rory say he just set down the hole for a second?
No,
Because he had to get his homunculus out?
No, I opened it enough that the homunculus could come out.
Oh.
I did not set it out. And I would have sent the homunculus servant in immediately after Bones, but because of the way that the token is, I can't click on it now because Current is in the spot. Thank you.
Karn is very interested in seeing what's within the tiny hole, so he'll go in after the tiny thing and start grunting and hemming and hawing as he squeezes his way through.
I gotta pull to scene. So you send your alchemical homunculus through, so I'm gonna pull you to this scene, Sam.
Yep. He wouldn't move in because for some reason it won't allow me to move a smaller token through because it keeps saying, hey, there's a wall.
That's weird. Homunculus servant. Okay. There's a whole other map for this part, guys. So I pull you two through there. Is anyone else squeezing through? I know Bones is being very quiet and moving very quickly, and I'll get
I'm
back
trying
to you.
to.
All right. Karn 2?
If Bones hadn't immediately called out for a fight, Biff is gonna chill with this new cannon.
All right. Let me just pull the scene. And Celis to scene. Pull selected to scene. Okay. Y'all can see this map. It's just a blown up version of that room. Okay. Let me see here. So Bones, you're checking for traps. At first glance, you do not discern them. There doesn't appear to be any off-put pressure plates on the ground. If there were a trap, it would have to be magical in nature or extremely well concealed.
Can't see anything.
Oh, your dark vision has expired. One moment.
Better not have. I'm still making payments on that.
Oh, actually, there should be a light source anyway. So let me just voop. Voop. There we go.
Oh.
Okay. Oh, did this shit just freeze on me too? Nope, it's not frozen for me. CC, you'll just have to reload. Let's see. Okay. On the desk. One moment.
These ones appear to have found a treasure vault.
Put it all in the hole.
Put it all in the hole. Bones. As you are first into the room, you are the first to see that there is a weathered human skull sitting on one of the pedestals. The left cheekbone and eye socket are horribly cracked, but the pieces are kept in place, floating by some form of magic. Beneath the plaque, written in Gnomish, you can make out a phrase. Life is temporary. An adversary is forever. I keep my promises. You see what appears to be a suit of ornate silver and platinum armor on display nearby, including a helmet. Various golden threads run along the length of the body, forming runic and artful patterns. A number of filigree sockets are present on the shoulders and back, suggesting ether stones were once affixed to the suit. Beneath the plaque is written in the Gnomish letters, MK in the numeral 1. There is a shield affixed to the right arm, and it is extremely well polished. Let's see. Immediately to your right in this glass case, let's see. There is a small... Well, the case itself. The glass is lined with what appear to be a golden frame. There are runes etched into the framework, and the glass is ever so slightly foggy. There's a chest within this glass display case. It appears to be weathered and dry from age. It is bound in iron with chains and all manner of locks. It looks ancient and it looks secure. To your left, there appears to be a weathered and dry-rotted navigation wheel sitting upon a frame. A plaque beneath it reads in Gnomish, Not even the Dread Baron could claim me. To the far side of the room, am I still coming through? Yeah. To the far side of the room, there is also a strange geometric shape that stands a little taller than your head. It's a sculpture or a device made of this green-colored metal. Its angular form is wide, with a pitched top that comes to a point. There are two segmented seams that run from top to bottom, cutting the shape roughly into thirds. There is no plaque beneath it.
Go ahead, Bones.
I was gonna say I want to investigate the cupboard with the chained chest in it.
The chain chest.
As she goes over to the cupboard, I'll lightly put my hand on her shoulder.
One moment.
I'll close my eyes, concentrate, and when I open them up again, they're glowing with green light and shining almost like spotlights out as I look around the room and cast Detect Magic.
Okay. I did not know you had Detect Magic. Excellent.
Doesn't come up often.
There's magic on the skull. There is some kind of, I think it's transmutation magic that's causing the pieces and bits to float in place.
Oh, shit.
Detroit Smash. You look about and see the armor. The armor is glowing and buzzing with abjuration magic as well as transmutation magic. It is a suit of very magical armor. The glass case is surrounded by divination magic, abjuration magic, evocation magic. It is very intricately, but very subtly governed by these different forms, these different schools of magic, these different colors that weave and interweave. Detect Magic cannot detect through a sheet of lead, correct? The box appears black to you.
Blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt.
Okay, so the box itself does not appear to be very magical at all. There does not appear to be magical means encapsulating it. The glass case, however, is a different story. And your attention is drawn slowly to the big green sculpture in the other side of the room. There is magic resonating within its center, within the 2 points up on the left and right tallest peak of this 3 segmented shape. What would that even be? You detect signs of transmutation magic. You detect signs of evocation magic.
I can simplify it further for you, because I assume all the items in here have different forms of magic. I'm going to narrow my focus, having seen all these start to ping, and I'm going to look for magic linked to the containers or pedestals holding the items, because I'm worried there might be magical traps or locks.
Oh, yeah. You search the room and try to find magical connections. Try to find where...
Like you mentioned, that glass case was covered in magic, right?
Yes. So as you follow and look for other signs of it, you find threads of different colors, all connecting to that green shape in the corner of the room.
Oh. And there's... Do all the threads connect to one point, or are there 3 different points on the thing?
They all seem to... If this was like a server room, all of the network connected to it. Everything kind of just gets funneled to it.
Okay. And it's not like, say, golem shaped, is it?
Give me I don't even know what kind of check that would be.
Does it look vaguely humanoid?
As it currently stands, it looks like a big green boulder.
That's fair.
It's you see it's segmented. It's got different plates that overlap.
I'll relay to Bones what I see. The threads, everything in here is magic, and the threads of magic are bound to this big thing. This one can try to disrupt the connection, but perhaps we should call in the roar.
That'd be smart. I don't want to turn off all the lights.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll call out, this one requires the roar's assistance.
I will enter as invited.
All right, Roar, you squeeze through. It's a tight squeeze. You gotta wiggle. It's a tight squeeze. You gotta wiggle. But you eventually make your way from one side into the other and arrive in this tiny room. Immediately, things catch your attention. That skull is really, well, that's definitely ornate. That suit of armor, it looks, from a metallurgical standpoint, bones, you know that this is valuable. From an arcane standpoint, it's extremely valuable.
Yeah, I want that power armor.
This one is interested in that shield.
The shield is
That
extremely
shield's attached to
reflective.
the armor, my friend.
Arrangements can be made.
I don't think
Arrangements
so.
can be made.
Alright,
Okay.
instead of arguing about loot, why don't we try to find the phylacteries and kill the lich, and then we can figure out the loot after.
And then I'll describe, this whole time I've got these like green light beams out of my eyes since Detect Magic lasts for 10 minutes. And I'll describe to Roar, I don't know like the actual terms like abjuration and evocation, so I just I talk about like the aura and how it makes me feel. And kind of describe it all linking back to the green thing.
All right. Roar, with this description of how the magic is laid out, you can roll an Arcana check at advantage. $24. Yeah, these are not just magical locks on the case. but there appear to be very. It's very likely that the alarm spell is being used with a trigger of some kind, you would imagine, if the case is breached. The way that the magic is relayed to the giant green shape, you get the impression that that might be a weapon of some kind, a security system of some kind. You're not entirely certain how it functions. You are made aware of how robust this is. You know of spells that can suppress magical locks. At least temporarily. You're not certain if the case has a mechanical aspect to it. But you do know that if that case is breached, something's going to happen. If the armor is taken off of its shelf, something's going to happen. And you can kind of spitball a few ideas of how to suppress it.
What if these ones were to disperse the connection to the green thing?
If we break any connection to the green thing activates.
The green thing has its own magic, right?
The green thing has its own magic, yeah.
What if these ones disperse the magic within the green thing?
Does it show a specific spell that's affecting it? I have to know the spell to be able to dispel it.
Roar, just with the cursory explanation from Karn, you know transmutation when it's described to you. It has a specific color, a specific feel. You believe that this is a transmutation school spell, multiple of them. You are a battlesmith, so I'm just going to give it to you. Some kind of animation spell, for certain.
Okay, well, I can certainly try. I will move towards it, and I will try using Dispel Magic.
Dispel Magic.
ADM.
Yes.
Want to pitch something to you.
Okay.
I also have Dispel Magic. Roar has the knowledge. I can see the magic as well. Is there any way I can assist with this?
We want to work together. Intriguing. I kind of like where this is going. Okay. Let me see. Karn, you think that in the same way that you've been able to use your abilities to change your weapon into a new form, the way that you've been able to augment the world around you to bring life to Deadland. You ponder in that moment if Roar could be similarly augmented, given the power of the green. You consider this for several moments and you see that, well, he does bear these woody, tree-like roots for a beard. There's wood in there. There's plant life in there. There's at least some living aspect. You can certainly try. You are not certain what will happen.
I want to try.
Okay. Roar, Karn has a batshit idea. You know that Till's magic is potent. It's very robust. You would need some kind of chutzpah to dispel any kind of trap, any kind of machine, any kind of automaton that he has prepared. Mechanically, what this is going to be, you may both expend a use of the Dispel Magic spell. This is going to grant you advantage on your ability check, because the spell is beyond level 4 or 5 or 6. Karn.
Can I pull out my violin and play some focusing music in order to give them a bardic inspiration on this roll?
Bardic Inspiration on the roll? I think you can. I think you should. Karn.
By our powers combined.
For every D12 of withering, you can increase the result by 1.
Interesting.
Roar, you cast a spell of magic. You begin to focus on the flow and the weave and the shape of this form. And its transmutation magic, you reverberate with the arcane weave. You use what tools you have available to try to surgically snip away at the connections and the spiral, the spin, the coiling of magic to try to sever what could animate this from the world around it, to essentially render it death to the world. Dispel Magic requires a check. It is a check using the spellcasting ability that you use for your magic. Karn, I'm going to say that you must choose before resolving the check whether or not to wither. Bones, you may roll your Bardic Inspiration die. Roar, you may roll your ability check only after these 2 dice are rolled.
Yep, I can roll it just once to make it advantage once it goes through.
Ooh, I like this. So wither, I'm assuming that's just I'm draining life from myself to pump this up.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have the impression that this is very powerful magic we're trying to undo, I'm going to push for 3d12.
3d12. Roll 3d12, please, and subtract it from your maximum hit points.
Roll low.
Please subtract 24 HP from your maximum hit points. Roar, you feel a surge of power through your back, through your arms, through your forearms, and into your fingertips. And for a moment, you see light and color. Bardic Inspiration, is that a D6?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Roar, please roll a D6 for Bones and subtract 1 use of Bardic Inspiration. 1 for a total of +4. For but a moment, Roar, these colors resolve into zigzags and wiggles and shapes of colored light, all matching of those different schools surrounding you. You peer beyond the walls, beyond the floor, beyond the ceiling and the floor. It's 8 plus 8 plus
No.
11? No. Okay. You see a world of white before you. As the shapes of your comrades take these shadowy, misty, and ethereal presences. Karn is glowing with a golden light. Bones is a phantasmagorical array, a display of different colors, from pinks to golds to blues. Her hair, in particular, remains this almost fiery color that shifts between red and gold and white. And you look toward the creature before you, and you see the colors of the stones embedded within its body. Vibrant, red, solid, magic aether stones. One for the shoulders, one for the heart, one for the navel, knees, and forearms. You know what this is as you look at it. And you begin to attempt to snip away the tethers that bind it to this world. You may roll your ability check at advantage and add 4 to it.
Could I use my arcane jolt as a further thing to boost
No, but you
it,
can use
channeling it through
no,
my
but you can use
hand?
you can use your flash of genius if you choose.
I'm out of those. That's why I was asking. Trying to channel additional energy through my hand. I don't know what kind of damage that would do to myself, but
I'm going to say you may choose to use a handful of D12s as you like, as you burn the inherent magic that is your soul.
a D12 per arcane jolt or multiple per arcane jolt?
A D12 for each plus that you add to it. You will not be using the arcane jolt for this. You'll be using your HP.
So kind of like my wither, where each D12 increases it by 1.
Precisely.
Okay, then I will. 3d12 sounds good.
Go big or go home.
Hell yeah!
19.
Oh, you
Roll.
lucky bastard!
As the light within you begins to flicker and fade and threaten to burst, your hands thrum with arcane energy. Bones, you see that Roar is physically glowing. His eyes look ready to pop. His cloak is billowing. The tendril-like beard threads grow. They gnarl out as a single bud of green appears at the very tip of your beard. Add 3, 6, 7 to your check. You may roll this check at advantage.
If you could make that advantage for me, it's rolling against my homunculus servant because that's the only thing that's on there.
Oh, let me move your character sheet. Hold on. I thought it. 1 second. Roar Edward Pond. There you are. You may reduce your maximum HP or make note that it is 19 less than before.
Oh, for max HP or the health that I have?
Max HP.
Ooh, okay.
You are burning your very essence. So, it is an ability check using your int. It's a d20 plus 4 plus. Let's see.
D20 plus
3
4.
from me.
Plus 7. Or was that bardic inspiration from Bones the total of 8?
No, that was just me finally finding the button
Clicking
to click
it.
it.
Okay, so it's the 1. So
Yeah.
3, 6, 7. So plus 7. So d20 plus 4 plus 7. And we'll make that advantage. Oh, I can't. Please roll on the d20. Because of course you would. Because of course you would. Because of course you would.
The
Lights in
power
room.
of friendship.
The lights in the room grow dim as Roar. Something pops in your chest. There's smoke. There's a sizzle. You stagger slightly, but push forward and physically reach out and wring the strands of magic, grasping them in your hands as you forcibly tear them away from the shape on the ground. The shape, the plates, the colors, the form begins to unfold as a vaguely humanoid shape of green metal staggers, tries to lift onto a leg, shakes, and then collapses into pieces on the ground, heavy and broken. The adamantine golem is disarmed and destroyed. As the lights cease flickering in the room and the shifting of the air ceases and slows, you find yourselves in a treasury thoroughly guarded by traps, with the only trap in the room now disarmed.
Okay. Oh, that hurt.
Oh, that hurt, says Roar, as we hit 10:35. this is where I would normally ask, is this a good place to end?
I feel
I
like
know
it's
some of us are fading, some of us are done with the night, and I think that is an excellent footnote to land on.
Yeah, because the next thing I must do is call the devil again. So
Call the devils. All right, cool. That was tense for a moment.
strong
if
moment
that-
to end on.
So you had to beat a 20.
whew.
Are adamantine golems that hard?
The magic that puts them together is yes. Iron golems are tremendously tough. They have some features that make it nigh impossible to just unmake them. They have magic resistance. However, I think this was sufficient rather than beating it to a pulp. I think this is sufficient.